Okay, this is gonna be a series of who the fuck did I have a baby by. Okay, so me and my baby daddy met at work. Obviously, I'm in the military. He's also in the military. So, boom, we met in Hawaii. We hung out in Hawaii. That was that. We came back from Hawaii, and we were just chilling. At this time, he had told me that, he had all these businesses and these cars and these homes, and he wasn't married. He was a single father. My baby daddy has a previous daughter. I'm not gonna say her name, but I think she's like 10 or 11. So we hung out. We, they were grown folks who got to know each other. And one day while I was at work, I get a call from his phone. And it's a woman. I'm gonna say her name. Her name is Nika. This is his wife. That's his wife's name. So she calls me and she was like, why was I talking to her husband? I don't remember the exact conversation, but I know I had said something smart because he ended up texting me. At this time I had 3 phones. So he texted my other phone tell her this, tell her that, and all this other stuff. So I was just telling her I don't mess with your husband, whatever like that, because that's what he told me. So I get off the phone with her and then I'm calling him and I'm like, so you're married or whatever like that? And then he was like, no, I'm not married. That's my ex-wife. She's down here visiting my daughter. Because at the time, he was telling me that he was a single father and he had custody of his daughter. So he was like, she crazy and all this other stuff. So after he was saying that she was crazy and that wasn't his wife and all this stuff, we continued our relationship because I'm thinking oh, this woman's lying and she delusional, she crazy. So I'm like, I kicked her to the side. So I thought. So we're going to fast forward past that. So me and her talked again. Me and her will always go back and forth on social media. We'll be arguing with each other. We'll be, just doing little petty stuff. Because I'm thinking girl, she want my man. She want her ex back, her ex-husband. Oh, this video getting too long. I'm going to have to do another part. Okay, so in the previous video, I told y'all how he had said that he had businesses and homes and a car, like a Range Rover and a truck and a BMW and all this stuff. This is really important because I'm going to get back to that later, but it's really important. So I also told you how he didn't have a wife. That's another thing. So I told you that she ended up calling me, contacting me. We talked and basically said she was telling me that she was his wife. So this happened over a course of a year of us just going back and forth. And then it comes around to his birthday time. So around his birthday time, which his birthday is in September, I ended up going all out for him, buying him all these clothes, these shoes, some cologne. I had set up a hotel, bought him balloons, did the whole 9 yards, y'all. And he ended up not even, I was blowing up his phone, where you at, come see me, whatever. Just trying to get him to come and see the surprise that I had for him. So it was he wasn't calling. I had at least called him I would say 30 times a day. Text him about 30 times a day. And no response. So I'm just okay, dang, maybe, something went wrong, something happened to him. So I'm worried. And it comes time, he eventually calls me back. And I'm where you been at all day or whatever like that. He be I've been busy. My phone broke. I was getting my phone fixed, but I'm on the way. He also said that he needed to go to TJ Maxx to get him some drawers. This is also a very important thing. So he goes to TJ Maxx. He supposedly go to TJ Maxx to get him some drawers and then come see me. He shows up with no drawers in hand. But we get there and it's he don't want to look me in my face. He don't want to talk to me. He don't want to do nothing. And it's also going to be a little bit of TMI, but we, it came time to do and he couldn't get up or whatever. So the next day we ended up deciding that we were going to go to Las Vegas? Yeah, Las Vegas. So we go to Las Vegas. Going to Las Vegas. We drove. So on the ride there, I get this text from this number. Come to find out, it's Nika, the wife. She sends me all these screenshots. They talking about sex, and she sent me this long paragraph yeah, he came, and this is not the first time he came, whatever like that. Hopefully I can say that, but she says that. So I'm just so he tries to snatch the phone from me, and I snatch it back so I could see finish reading what I was reading. And then I just get to like hitting him all in his face or whatever like that. Like I'm just dicking him in his face or whatever. And this is from his number, by the way. So I'm just dicking him all up in his face. And I eventually calmed down. He pulls over and I was like, take me back. We were already like an hour or something until they dropped. I wanted to go back. So he was telling me like her friend is a phone hacker. She hacks my phone and all this other stuff. And I'm just still like hitting him. And it was just crazy. So we end up getting back into the car. And I kind of believed that she hacked his phone because, again, he told me that she was delusional. So we get to Vegas. He spent all this money on me. He gave me like $7,000. I blew that up in Vegas. And we had went past that. But the only reason I'm saying this is because it's going to get important to when it gets to me breaking down all these lies that he told me. I'm going to make another part. Okay, this is going to be part 3, but I want to rewind just a little bit. It's going to take a few seconds. So, I told y'all how we were both in the military. So, I am in the military and I am a junior sailor. And he was in the military, but he obviously wasn't a junior sailor. Again, he was twice my age. At this time, when we first met, I was 19 and I believe he was 43. So, just to put that in perspective. So, the point of me telling you this is when me and her talked the first time, he basically said that she wanted to tell our job on us, which me and him were not even allowed to talk just based off, our ranking. So if you're in the military, you know what I mean. Another thing is I want to add 2 people to the story. So I'm going to add a Billy, which is Nika's cousin, and I'm going to add a Shayla, which is Nika's cousin's wife. So I told y'all how we were on the way to Vegas and I eventually believed him. I believed him because he called Billy, Nika's cousin, and Billy vouched for him. So I thought. And another thing is me and Billy would always talk on the phone, but it wouldn't be on my phone. And it would always be on like, I'm going to call my baby daddy Tyrone. It would be on Tyrone's phone. And I kind of thought that was weird, but I kind of didn't know him like that. And so, we were like talking, chit-chatting. He was even talking to my friend once upon a time. This is also very important, so please keep this part in the back of y'all mind. So let me put this image in y'all head. So me and Tyrone are in the car headed to Las Vegas. I get the message. I start hitting him. He ends up calling Billy, Nika's cousin. Billy ends up vouching for him as in, no, they're not married. They weren't together. She's crazy. She's delusional. This is Billy, Nika's cousin. So I thought. So now that is cleared up, we're going to fast forward to October. So August, when I talked to her, September, his birthday, October. October is when we decided that we were going to get married. I know y'all. So October rolls around. Me and him, we are ring shopping. We're talking about what colors we wanted for our wedding. Like what people we was going to have in the wedding. And at this time, Billy, Nika's cousin, which Nika is the wife, is saying like kind of in on it too. So when we do this all October, going towards the end of November. Now this is where it get real juicy. So towards the end of November, I end up going through his phone and I see that he had a trip. He was in a group chat with some people. One of the people being the wife, Nika, and he had a group chat talking about going on a trip for her birthday. Her birthday was in November. I never confronted him about going on a trip until it was like a day or 2 before the trip. And I was like, do you have something to tell me? And he was basically like, no, I don't have nothing to tell you. So I just, confront Tyrone like, you're going on this trip with her and her people. And Tyrone gets all sentimental and he like, I had paid for the trip a year in advance and that's the only reason I'm going. Baby, if you don't want me to go, I ain't gonna go, whatever like that. But I'm gonna lose all my money. I didn't pay I think he told me he paid like $14,000 for this trip. So I'm like, okay, don't worry about it. I don't want you to lose your $14,000 or whatever. So y'all, let me tell y'all, it's like time for the trip. And I'm still salty. So basically they head to Jamaica and all this other stuff. So I'm hawking this woman page down. When I say I'm hawking her page down, because he told me, like, I'm not going to see her on the trip. We're not sleeping in the same room. We're not going to be around each other. Woo. So I just end up getting mad, making posts like, you with another woman, but you got a girl. You want to trip with another woman, but you got a whole girl at home. Being me. I guess she sees the post and she basically like, I ain't the other girl. I'm the wife. You basically the other girl. So she ends up posting pictures of them taking pictures together. They was on the beach together. They was together. And he told me he didn't even see her on this trip. So at that point, I'm just 38 hot because it's too much lying going on. And I'm steady catching him in these little lies. So when he get back, I go into full detective mode. I mean, when I say full detective mode, I'm checking that phone every day. But I told you, they have a child together. But every time I would check that phone, they would never have any messages. So when I say they would never have any messages, I mean they wouldn't even have one single message. So I could never basically get what I wanted. Although I had those messages she had sent from before, I'm like, oh, his phone was hacked in. So those messages not even true. So I wanted like some evidence that, they were, actually married. So I really could not get that from his phone. And not even to mention this part, because I forgot this part. He flew this woman first class to Vegas, to Jamaica. He took me to Vegas. He flew her first class to Jamaica. But not even did he fly her first class. Let me get down to nitty gritty. Me and him had a Jamaica trip planned. And what this man did was the day up that we were supposed to go on the trip, he told me basically the plane had broke down and we weren't able to go because they had canceled the flight, and basically he was getting his money back. So for me, I'm going to say I had packed. I don't know if he had packed. He said he had packed and had his clothes up in the car. So I had packed all my clothes up. I had bought me some new clothes, bought me some new shoes. I had got my hair done and everything. And the plane breaks down. So I'm sad. I'm like, dang, this is going to be our first trip out the country. Like, that was going to be my first time out the country. So I'm just like, dang, the plane broke down. Like, what our luck. Just believing him because, at this time, he's my man. So I'm believing what my man telling me because there's no way my man finna lie about this plane breaking down when he got all these businesses and Range Rovers and BMWs and homes, right? Before I continue to part 4, I wanted to do a quick intermission. Number 1, everybody is asking, why did you stay? Why did you believe him and all this other stuff? At this time, me and him were living together. I later found out that we were only living together because he told his wife that he was living at our job. He did not say that, he didn't tell her that he was living with me. The next thing I'm going to say is I really thought it was self-explanatory, but I am not the wife. My name is Kyla. His wife's name is Nika. There's 2 different things. I'm not the wife. And the last thing I want to say is I understand that this is a touchy subject for some people, and some people have, past trauma with stuff like this. But that don't mean come to my page and be mean, when I've already been through enough, as y'all can see. Like, it's much more to the story. So that don't mean come on my page and be rude and mean because of your past trauma. You cannot tell me that I knew something that I did not know. At this time, like I told y'all, I was 19 years old. I did not know about looking up a marriage certificate. I did not know about looking up a divorce. I did not know about any of that. I'm going to get back to the part of us living together, because the part of us living together is a big reason why I stayed with him for so long and why I believed him. And another thing I want to say is the reason that I added Shayla and Billy into my last story time is because they also played a big role in the stories. For example, I used to always go back and forth with Shayla and Nika. Shayla being Billy's wife, Billy being Nika's cousin. everybody is asking me about the wife, and I don't know how she felt. I don't know her side of the story. If y'all want her side of the story, y'all would probably have to request that from her. I don't know how she felt at the time and what she was going through. But part 4 will be posted soon, so thank y'all for listening. Y'all are chewing me down. I swear. I'm gonna get to this because y'all got me so messed up. Like I told y'all in the intermission, he moved out from her. I did not know they lived together. He told me that he lived at our job, so he moved out from her and moved in with me in my barracks room. I'm going to explain a barracks room for people who don't know what it is. A barracks room is something that the people in the military give, like single junior sailors who don't have children. So he moved in with me in my barracks room. So with us living together, why would I think that he's married when we are living together? We are in the same place. I would not think he was married. I know it was a lot of red flags with him going on a trip. But again, we live together. Another thing is people are saying, why did I let him go on a trip? He was already going on a trip. The trip was already paid for. It was like 1 or 2 days before the trip when I had confronted him. And the only reason I waited to confront him is because I didn't want him knowing that I had the password to his phone. So that's the reason I waited to confront him. Now let's kick it into part 4. We're finna really get down to it. So I told you that we had lived together. And this is where Billy and Shayla really kind of comes into play. So I have a friend, and I'm going to call her Kai. So my friend Kai was supposed to be talking to Billy, which is Shayla's husband. Billy is also Nick's cousin. Keep this in mind. So Tyrone comes to me and was like, Billy wants Kai, which is my friend's information. So I'm like, okay. So I send Tyrone Kai's information, like her number, her Instagram, her Facebook, so he could give it to Billy because I'm thinking Billy wanted her information. So next thing I know, my friend is texting Billy, supposedly Shayla's husband, and they have been talking for, texting back and forth for a little minute. So happens it comes to where I want to check his phone one day, and I see that he has all these pictures of my friend Kai in his phone. They have each other on social media. They're liking each other pictures back and forth. They have each other number. And this was just weird to me because I'm like, I gave this to him to give to Billy. And this is kind of also around the time where it's starting to approach for our anniversary. So he basically tells me, like, I can't spend time with you for our anniversary. I'm going to Jamaica with Billy. I also found that kind of odd because I'm like, why all of a sudden on our anniversary you want to go to Jamaica with Billy? So again, as I'm searching through his phone and I see that he has my friend information, my friend name, they've basically been communicating, but all the messages are kind of deleted, so I can't really see what they're talking about. I also am being told that he wants to go to Jamaica with Billy. So as I'm going through the phone, I see that it's this random number in his phone and it's saved under T. So I get to looking at the messages, and it was like, hey, it was like he was saying like, you beautiful and all this other stuff. And like the girl was kind of telling him like, I'm pregnant. And I'm just like, so as she's telling him like, I'm pregnant, my tummy hurts and all this other stuff, I just get to like going up. And I'm starting to see like, this number is a Jamaica number, and also they're not even texting on regular phone. They're texting on WhatsApp. Be mindful, these messages are sexual, so I do end up confronting him, and I'm like, who is this you're texting on WhatsApp? He tells me that it's Nika brother that he's texting sexual on WhatsApp, and that's why the name saved is T. So I end up getting the number, I download WhatsApp, and I call her. And I asked her to explain to me what was going on and how does she know him, or I'm going to call her job. She basically explains to me that they met in Jamaica. She is a Jamaican citizen, and I guess they met at the resort that he was staying at with his wife, Nika, on her birthday on a $14,000 trip that they flew first class to. Side note is, I never had any intention to call her job, but I just really wanted to get the information out because, I kept uncovering lie after lie after lie. So not only did I find out that he is supposedly having a wife, I found my friend in his phone, and then again I found the Jamaica girl in his phone. So at this point, I'm just like, it's so much going on, and him basically having a wife kind of got pushed to the back of my mind because it's two more people that I gotta check about. And at this time, I really just break down. I just start crying because I'm just like, what is the problem? Is it me? Like, what is going on? Are you married? Why are you communicating with my friend when my friend was supposed to be talking to Billy? Why are you communicating with a Jamaica girl that lives in Jamaica? And why is she saying that she's pregnant? And he kind of basically deflects the situation, and he ends up taking me out to eat, and he gets me some little things or whatever. So it kind of got pushed to the back of my mind, but it was always still lingering, like I wasn't happy during that time. The only thing that I can say that was true that he did say is that he had a BMW. So the BMW was not even his, it was his wife's sneakers. And I would drive it, and he would drive my car. And so that day, I ended up taking a picture inside the BMW because, we were out on a date. Nika sees it and then makes a post basically like her enemy in her car, something like that. So I'm just like, forget this. You got some explaining to do. So I gave him an ultimatum. I said, you have a week to show me that you are divorced or I'm leaving. And by the end of that week, he had divorce papers in hand with his and her signature on there. This is part 4. So where we left off at is me and him booking a Jamaica trip and praying break it down. So it's like after he came back from that Jamaica trip with her, he was like dead broke all the time, but he was talking this big game like he keep 10,000 in his pocket. Another red flag was he had a very big gambling habit. So not only he have a very big gambling habit, but he was supposedly supporting it with all his, his 2 stores or gas stations that he had, and his like homes that he was selling or whatever. And he also said that he owned a water company and had his own like well, and he sold water, and the water was named after his daughter. So a few months passed by, and he just hits me up like, baby, I really need you to do me this real big favor. Can you do me this favor? Let me pause right there. So another big thing in our relationship was he supposedly got paid every Wednesday from his 2 gas stations $100,000. So every Wednesday, he said that he made $100,000 from his gas station. I'm gonna say when he called me, it was a Tuesday. No, actually, it was a Wednesday, because he was like, baby, I need a big favor. So I'm just like, what's up, what you need? And he was like, I need $5,000. And I'm just looking around like, $5,000? Like, where the hell you gonna get that from? Because I'm not gonna say I don't have that kind of money, but I'm a big saver. That's another thing about me. I save. He also knew that because he had my bank account information, and he also knew that I was a big saver because he could see it in my bank. So when he asked to borrow the $5,000, I'm gonna say at this time it was like 10:00, so 10 a.m. And then he told me he would give it back to me at 1800, which is 6 p.m. because that's when that big $100,000 came in from his 2 gas stations that he owned. So I'm telling him, I was like, I don't know if I can give you $5,000, but I can give you like $2,000. So I gave him like $2,000, and he was basically telling me like the money was to pay his employees, and he really needed this money because he couldn't pay his employees at the gas station because the people were renovating, and he didn't get to get his money, so the money had got delayed because they were renovating. And I know now it sounds stupid, but at that time it had made, like, perfect sense to me. Like, I really didn't see why he would lie to me, because, we're in a relationship. So, I didn't see why he would be lying to me about something like that. So I give him that 2,000. When I give him that 2,000, he takes it, and then maybe like 30 minutes later, he was like, the video stopped. But maybe like 30 minutes later, he was like, I need another 1,000. And like 30 minutes after that, he was like, I need another 1,000. So we had 2,000. He needed another 1,000. And then 30 minutes after that, he said, he needed another 1,000. And then he was like, he needed another 1,000. So we up to 5,000. Although I said I did not want to give him 5,000, he still got 5,000. So we texted for like up to like an hour after that, and then he just disappears on me. So 1800 rolls around, or 6 p.m. rolls around, and I'm just like, I'm texting him, blowing him up, like, are you going to send the money? Not trying to buck him, but I was like, maybe, something happened with the store and the employees, and, he's handling that. So maybe that's why he's not texting me back. So I eventually just fall asleep because he never texts me back, and I wake up to not a message. So I was texting him. He ain't texting me back. He waited till about 12 p.m. and texted me with like, what you doing, baby? And I was like, nothing. Where you been at? Like, what you doing? I ain't talked to you. And he was like, I was talking to my dad. My dad run my store, so I was having to sort this out or whatever. But I'm going to give you your money today. So the day ends and it comes nighttime, and I never get my money. So I'm asking him about the money. And then he just catches an attitude with me. He was like, I did that for you. I did that for you. Let me also mention that the 5,000 was a loan. This 5,000 was a loan. And that's why he's telling me, like, I did that for you. I'm trying to boost your credit up. This finna help your credit. You steady hassling me about some money, but I'm trying to help your credit. And in my little 19-year-old mind, I didn't know enough about credit to even know, what he was even talking about. So I'm just like, okay, like, I wasn't trying to upset you or nothing like that. I just want to see when I was going to get my money back, because it was a loan, and loans collect interest. So we're going to fast forward to a couple months later, and he's driving my car to work every day. I lived right by the job, so I would walk to work, and he didn't. So, and he also, supposedly his cars were in the shop, so he had to drive my cars to work every day. He wrecks my car, and then I end up having to send him over $2,000+ to get my car fixed. Okay, y'all, I swear I'm not trying to make a lot of parts, but this video is getting long. It's already like 6 minutes. I'm going to come back, I swear. Let's get into it. And before I get into part 5, I really want to address some things. Number 1 being people asking, like, why I'm so dumb and stuff like that, and all the names. I wanted to say that sometimes, well, I've heard that sometimes when you already have your mind made up and you already have what God, have, like, in your head, what God already wants you to, what you want God to say is what I should say, that you can't even realize what he's telling you because you already have your mind made up. Another thing is, I really don't want this to happen to nobody, so I understand what y'all saying, and I really hope it don't happen to nobody, but it has happened to me. I am not lying. I have proof. I have talked to his wife, and we have compared notes, basically, and we came to the conclusion. I am not here to make nobody feel comfortable. I don't have to apologize to anybody besides her and her child. I did not do anything to y'all. I am not the woman that took y'all husband. So please be nice. So let's get into part 5. And I just wanted to take it back a little bit because I kind of skipped past the Billy situation, and I really want to get this part out. I went back and I wanted to say how I met Billy and why was my friend talking to Billy in the first place. So me and Billy has never actually met in person. We've only talked on the phone, and it was not FaceTime. So again, we never met in person. I originally met Billy when him and my baby daddy went on a vacation to my baby daddy's hometown. It was over the phone again, so I really cannot see who the person actually was. He just told me that this person is Billy, Nika's cousin. So fast forward back to Vegas, I again had never met Billy. So I was able to talk on the phone with who God knows who he had put on that phone. But again, I'm assuming that it's Billy, Nika's cousin. So when I say that my friend was talking to Billy and why he was talking to Billy, when me and Billy did talk on the phone, which was Tyrone's phone, he would be on the phone with me like, oh yeah, I hate my wife. I'm only with her because she's a money getter and that's the only reason I stay with her. And he would be telling how his wife is so dirty and, he can't stand her. He wants him a new girl. So Tyrone comes up with the bright idea, hey, let's put him on with Kai. Kai being my friend. So like I told you, I gave my baby daddy Kai's information. And I guess Kai and Billy, from my understanding, had started talking. So when I found the information in Tyrone being my baby daddy's phone, I was like, I kind of got in my head like, I gave this information to Billy and you got it. And like I said, I didn't have Billy's information, so I could never contact Billy myself. I was always only talking with him through Tyrone, and I couldn't ask him in front of Tyrone because then Tyrone would have hung up that phone. I wouldn't have been able to get no answers. I questioned my friend. Since everybody's asking me that question my friend, I did question my friend. And she could never give me a straight answer. It was always like, well, like she could never give me a straight answer to why they were ever having each other's information or even in communication when they weren't supposed to be. But I really want y'all to remember these particular parts because it gets really important as I go along with the story. I also want to note that if you can't tell right now, Billy is not actually Billy. To this day, I actually don't know who Billy was. But I can say that Billy was not actually Nika's cousin. Who I was talking to was not actually Nika's cousin and was somebody that was playing and pretending to be Billy over the phone to bait me in and basically get me to listen to what he was saying about Nika. So that actually ties into the situation with my friend and basically him talking to my friend and not Billy talking to my friend. That also ties back into him talking about his wife, which he actually never was. That also ties back into us planning a wedding and Billy kind of helping us in a way when he actually wasn't. And this also ties back into my karma because, again, I gave my friend Billy information knowing that he was married with Shayla and she was talking to my baby daddy. So that's karma for you. But part 6 will be posted in just a few minutes because it gets juicier. So now we got past the Billy part and we understand that Billy is not even Billy. And we understand that he's married. And we understand that he was messing with a Jamaican girl. And we understand that he was also talking to my friend. I also want to note this. He did actually pay $14,000 for that trip. That's not a lie. So now my birthday rolls around. My birthday's in January and it's time for me to turn the big 20. I turned 20 and we have this big old trip planned. Like, we've got clothes, we've ordered shoes, we've like jewelry, everything. We have everything planned and we're going on this trip. So the day of my birthday comes around and he's MIA. He's not calling me. He's not picking up the phone. I'm blowing him up. I have packed. I have my clothes on. I'm ready to go. I woke up early just to get ready. I had got my hair done and he's nowhere to be found. My birthday comes and, all day I'm just worried. I'm looking for him because I'm like, we have this trip planned and he's not even contacting me. So it's getting close to approaching like night. It isn't night, but it's past midday, if you get what I'm saying. It's about 4 or 5. And he's like, I've been real busy. Like, we still going. Bull crap, y'all. He was lying. So he comes over to my place and he was like, are you ready to go? And I was like, yeah. So we lived in San Diego at this time. So he drives me to Texas Roadhouse and I believe it was Oceanside. It was either Oceanside or Mira Mesa. I forgot which one it is. I really don't remember, but I know we went to Texas Roadhouse. So I just went with the flow. I was like, maybe we're going to eat and then go on the trip. No, that wasn't in his plans. I also wanted to note that he didn't have any bags in the car. So I was assuming that maybe it was in the trunk. You know, people put their bags in the trunk. So after we get done eating, he looks to me and he was like, so what you want to do now? I'm like, what I want to do now? So when he was like, what you want to do now? I was just like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I thought we were going this place. I never said I thought we were going this place because, again, I didn't want to, like, bug him and be like, I thought we were going here. So I'm just like, I don't know. And he was like, I got the perfect idea for you. Just wait. Just wait. So we driving, and then he drives to this beach that was like a far distance from San Diego. So we just at this random beach walking. And at this point, I get agitated. So I just asked him, like, I thought we were going out of town. And he was like, I didn't tell you. They canceled our tickets. So we can't go. We're going to have to pick another day. They canceled our tickets. I don't know why. And I also want to put out there, anytime I would question him about either his marriage, about talking to other women, about, you know, certain things, he would get very defensive. He would yell. He would basically deflect it on me as if I'm bothering him or I'm running him away. So that would shy me away from asking questions because, again, I'm not really a confrontational person. I don't handle conflict well. So when he would get in that defense mode and, you know, want to yell and stuff like that, then, you know, I would, like, kind of back down because, like, maybe I'm doing too much. You know what I'm saying? I also want to know why I'm telling all these parts at this time. I'm not even pregnant. So I had went through all of this before I had even got pregnant. So now that I gave y'all a bunch of background, not really all the background because it's much more, but I gave y'all a bunch, enough for y'all to paint a picture and see that, you know, this was his story. This is his life. And in the next few parts, I'm going to skip to when I was pregnant and uncovering how he told the lies. I mean, how I found out he was lying and everything like that. Another thing I wanted to note is that I can tell that some of y'all aren't really watching the videos because, again, y'all are saying, why did I believe him? I did tell y'all that he did have divorce papers. So y'all saying that I could have looked up a divorce decree. I did not know that. But again, I did ask him for the divorce papers and he did provide divorce papers. I really should have put that in the beginning because I don't know if y'all going to watch to the end. But again, please watch to the end because, like I said, he had divorce papers. I also want to take this time out to let y'all know that I have took accountability for my actions and things that I had to play. I am not trying to be the victim in this story. I'm just telling the story how it is. And if that makes me sound like a victim, then I'm sorry about it. But I'm just telling the story of, you know, the events that happened. So now we got past the Billy part and we understand that Billy is not even Billy. And we understand that he's married. And we understand that he was messing with a Jamaican girl. And we understand that he was also talking to my friend. I also want to note this. He did actually pay $14,000 for that trip. That's not a lie. So now my birthday rolls around. My birthday's in January and it's time for me to turn the big 20. I turned 20 and we have this big old trip planned. Like, you know, we've, you know, got clothes, we've ordered shoes, we've like jewelry, everything. We have everything planned and we're going on this trip. So the day of my birthday comes around and he's MIA. He's not calling me. He's not picking up the phone. I'm blowing him up. I have packed. I have my clothes on. I'm ready to go. I woke up early just to get ready. I had got my hair done and he's nowhere to be found. My birthday comes and, you know, all day I'm just worried. I'm looking for him because I'm like, we have this trip planned and he's not even contacting me. So it's getting close to approaching like night. It isn't night, but it's past midday, if you get what I'm saying. It's about 4 or 5. And he's like, I've been real busy. Like, we still going. Bull crap, y'all. He was lying. So he comes over to my place and he was like, are you ready to go? And I was like, yeah. So we lived in San Diego at this time. So he drives me to Texas Roadhouse, and I believe it was Oceanside. It was either Oceanside or Mira Mesa. I forgot which one it is. I really don't remember, but I know we went to Texas Roadhouse. So I just went with the flow. I was like, maybe we're going to eat and then go on the trip. No, that wasn't in his plans. I also wanted to note that he didn't have any bags in the car. So I was assuming that maybe it was in the trunk. People put their bags in the trunk. So after we get done eating, he looks to me and he was like, so what you want to do now? I'm like, what I want to do now? So when he was like, what you want to do now? I was just like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I thought we were going this place. I never said I thought we were going this place because, again, I didn't want to, like, bug him and be like, I thought we were going here. So I'm just like, I don't know. And he was like, I got the perfect idea for you. Just wait. So we driving, and then he drives to this beach that was like a far distance from San Diego. So we just at this random beach walking. And at this point, I get agitated. So I just asked him, like, I thought we were going out of town. And he was like, I didn't tell you. They canceled our tickets. So we can't go. We're going to have to pick another day. They canceled our tickets. I don't know why. And I also want to put out there, anytime I would question him about either his marriage, about talking to other women, about, certain things, he would get very defensive. He would yell. He would basically deflect it on me as if I'm bothering him or I'm running him away. So that would shy me away from asking questions because, again, I'm not really a confrontational person. I don't handle conflict well. So when he would get in that defense mode and, want to yell and stuff like that, then, I would, like, kind of back down because, like, maybe I'm doing too much. You know what I'm saying? I also want to know why I'm telling all these parts at this time. I'm not even pregnant. So I had went through all of this before I had even got pregnant. So now that I gave y'all a bunch of background, not really all the background because it's much more, but I gave y'all a bunch, enough for y'all to paint a picture and see that, this was his story. This is his life. And in the next few parts, I'm going to skip to when I was pregnant and uncovering how he told the lies. How I found out he was lying and everything like that. Another thing I wanted to note is that I can tell that some of y'all aren't really watching the videos because, again, y'all are saying, why did I believe him? I did tell y'all that he did have divorce papers. So y'all saying that I could have looked up a divorce decree. I did not know that. But, again, I did ask him for divorce papers, and he did provide divorce papers. I really should have put that in the beginning because I don't know if y'all going to watch to the end. But, again, please watch to the end because, like I said, he had divorce papers. I also want to take this time out to let y'all know that I have took accountability for my actions and things that I had to play. I am not trying to be the victim in this story. I'm just telling the story how it is. And if that makes me sound like a victim, then I'm sorry about it. But I'm just telling the story of, the events that happened.